Oh, by the way, everything in this meeting is going to be made public. Thank you.
I think it's, yeah.
How come Seema Dixit was CC'd on the letter?
Which one?
The letter?
Oh, okay. Can you come up to the third floor? Oh, all right.
The letter was a previous letter?
Yeah.
Is she yours today?
Okay.
No,
Come out and get, yeah.
Good question.
because she's one of the defendants in my lawsuit, and I don't understand why she was CC'd. I'd like to know why. Because that, in a sense, is retaliation by showing her what's happening to me.
She's somebody that you're not supposed to have a contract with, right?
Right, because she's one of the main perps in my lawsuit.
I gotta write this down in my notes with this password even in the password.
Don't leave without...
Yeah.
Awesome, go on.
Hello?
Hi, who's this?
Hi, it's Jackie Kelly's on. Who else is on?
Is the AG's office on?
Thank you. What's the, you know, the username?
You said the guest one, right?
It's, but
Natasha
it's asking
Butler's
for a
on from the Attorney General's office.
it's asking for a
Hello,
username.
Natasha, how are you?
Pat Hill
How are
guest?
you?
Okay, let me try this one.
So unlike last time, the Attorney General's office just announced that they're here. Last time, they weren't even on the invite, so I don't understand why that was kept under wraps.
Authentic.
I can't breathe.
I assume at some point we'll also say who's here, either in person or virtually. And the other thing I'd ask is, Jackie Kelly, sorry, is when people talk, if people can say who they are.
Andrea, she's mine.
Hi, Andrea. Hello.
This is Vicky. Vicky,
Hi,
Andrea.
Andrea. Glad to meet you. Just gonna pass over a sign-in sheet.
Here we go.
It might just be me. It's kind of hard to hear some of the voices. This is Natasha Butler.
Okay, so,
I don't know if anything can be done about that or not, but I don't know if the microphone is. I guess not. I'll just do my best to listen in. Actually, me too. I'm gonna try to put mute. I put mute. Maybe I'll hear better.
I talk really loud, so nobody should have a problem.
I know, like,
okay, so right now, we're just gonna send around the sign-in sheet in the room. We can start with,
Andrea Bagnell-DeGoss from the Health Department.
that's Lisa's supervisor. From the union,
Crystal Bergantine, NEARI.
William Beauvais, NEA.
Kimberly Henderson, HR Liaison.
Lisa.
Lisa Camuso, Community Liaison Program Worker, or Community Program Liaison Worker, sorry. Department of Health.
Vicki Bama, Legal Counsel to Lisa Camuso.
And the not alone HR program administrator. Okay,
Okay, so I'm going to
we
be...
gotta
Oh, sorry.
figure out who's on the phone. Okay. Who's on the call?
Natasha Butler is on the phone from the Attorney General's office.
And Jackie Kelly?
Jackie?
Yes, Jackie Kelly on the phone also.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's get started.
Great, good morning. My name is Kimberly Henderson, and I am the hearing officer for this proceeding. The purpose of us being here today is to conduct a pre-disciplinary proceeding. The pre-disciplinary proceeding is in the final step in the investigation process and allows you, the employee, to respond to the allegations made against you as detailed in the pre-disciplinary proceeding notice. Have you had the opportunity to review it?
The 7-page letter? Yes. May I quickly ask a question?
We'll go through.
Well, it's about the actual letter, and then we can go through it. Seema Dixit was CC'd on this letter, and I would like to know why. She is the defendant in my lawsuit. Can somebody answer that question for me?
I put everyone that had from the Department of Health.
Could you speak up? I'm recording this. Okay?
You heard me.
No,
I put it-
I want the recorder, ma'am. Thank you.
I'm the one who put those names in there.
Okay, could you answer why Seema Dixit's on there?
I don't know that SEMA, she's from the Department of Health, is she not?
Well, there's a lot of people in the Department of Health.
Correct.
She just happens to be in my lawsuit as
I
one of
know-
the defendants.
I have no attachment or knowledge of your lawsuit, so
Well, you should.
But why,
Why
so
do
I guess
I
the
have
question is, why would SEMA, she wasn't part of the initial investigatory meeting? Why would she be, she wasn't a part of it at all?
neither was Anna, neither was,
Anna's the deputy director, so she would have a reason to be on there.
okay.
Why
I
is Seema?
answered
No, you
your
didn't.
question. Yeah, okay.
So you don't know?
Let's move
It
on.
just happened.
Has your union representative had an opportunity to review?
Ask
Yes, I
her.
have.
proceeding?
Yes, I have.
Okay, this is not an evidentiary hearing, and there are no cross-examination. At this time, I'm prepared to hear anything you have to say regarding this matter before any final decision is made as to disciplinary action.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to talk?
So you just want to hear, I'd like to go page by page and talk about the allegations and just make some comments, if that's okay.
Sure, go ahead.
And we do have some questions on the allegations.
As well as proof.
Vicki, if you want to step in at any time, feel free.
Sure.
So page 1, misuse of state resources. Rhode Island General Law 285030, misuse of time and failing to perform my duties. Where is the proof in that?
The department, the materials that where do you think they came from?
What materials?
That you provided to Stenhouse?
But you're saying I'm not providing I'm not doing my duties. I'm not
Yeah,
failing to perform my
duties.
assigned duties.
I'm here to hear what you have to present. I'm not going through a questionnaire with you.
Okay, so
Okay.
here's
So
the
just give
comment.
me what you have and
Here-
we'll go on.
I would
The
like to see
comment,
proof.
She did not fail to perform her duties at any time during her work hours. And there is absolutely nothing to substantiate that she did.
Okay.
So, okay, moving on.
Breach of confidentiality, I think there's absolutely no proof that she breached confidentiality. We talked extensively about how she removed any and all patient identifying information. And as for the complaints themselves, we sat here in a room which included the facilities director, and she had no insight as to whether those complaints were confidential or not.
And we still haven't had that question answered.
And
Yes.
we said that they were.
So if a citizen calls or does an APRA request on the last 100 complaints that came into the Department of Health on nursing homes, you would say we can't give that to you, it's confidential information?
There is some information that would be confidential.
Right.
Such as what? I mean, that question was
It
never
depends.
answered in the investigatory meeting,
And
so.
it would depend on what they're requesting, so I can't just give hypotheticals.
No, I'm saying
But
if I, as a citizen of
you-
the state of Rhode Island, called and said, I'll even be more specific, I would like to know, I would like to have, redact patient names, whatever, the last 100 complaints that came in for Oak Hill Nursing Home, you would tell me no?
That I will refer to the legal department for them
Which
to
was
figure out.
here, Jackie's here, she's legal department, I know.
Attorney General's office is here.
They're here to listen to what you have to
But
say,
nobody,
not
we had
answer
an
the question.
investigatory meeting.
I'll write it
and-
down as a question and get that answer
Thank
back.
you.
from
All
you.
right,
I
up in the
asked that
fine, you don't like
because-
questions, I'll make a statement. We
Okay.
sat here in a room with Jackie Kelly, Attorney General's office, head of the facilities division, and nobody could answer the question. If they couldn't answer the question, I don't
They
understand.
explained it to you the last time, and you'll get the
I
same
didn't-
response.
they did not.
Nobody explained a
They
thing.
explained after to you, Jackie did, when she was sitting here.
Nope, I have the
Yes,
audio.
but not the question. You are trying to discipline an employee for giving out confidential information that nobody can prove that it's confidential. As a public person, if I called
It
to
is
get
not information that would be given to the general public.
Okay, that's a big problem. The Attorney General's on the office is on this call, that's a big problem, that should be public knowledge. The citizens of this state have a right to know, or as a family member of someone that has someone in a nursing home, I would have the right to know what complaints are coming in about that home.
And you have to assess each, because there are HIPAA violations, and we shall not get into those by
Nobody,
disclosing
right,
information
and that's why I
without the proper releases.
redacted is.
May I make a statement? I didn't violate HIPAA.
So, can we go on?
We were trying to go on, and we kept trying to talk, and you kept interrupting us.
No, you were asking a question, and I responded.
You're very combative. Do you know that?
Okay.
Yeah, and as I was saying, we sat here in a room, Facilities Director, Attorney General, Jackie Kelly, Chief of Facilities Director. None of them could give a straight answer as to whether those complaints were confidential. If they couldn't answer it, I don't see how you expect a rank and file employee like Ms. Camuso to answer that.
Or
So
to
that
know
goes
it.
directly to your just
To-
cause right there.
To know it.
Let's get that part right.
So breach of confidentiality, we are saying that there was absolutely no breach of confidentiality, that's our statement.
And it's still covered under Rhode Island General Law 28-50-3, which even the state used in the letter, which I can't wait to get to that.
We're
So,
on page 3.
Are we?
I'm on page 1.
1.
So still on page 1, the interview with Mike Stenhouse claims backlog still remains and still being covered up. If there's a cover-up, a public servant has the right to let the public know.
And I have.
All day long has the right to let them know. This isn't somebody that was trying to be malicious. She was trying to do the right thing by the public. So that's for that. Claims, positive patients roomed with negative patients, complaints including staff claim from several different nursing homes. Again, if those claims are out there, they should absolutely be public knowledge, and a whistleblower and a public servant was letting the public know. And that goes along with patient neglect and all the patient neglect ones. Page 2, state claims, complaints are still under surveillance pending full investigation. Are there timelines for these investigations? They've been clearly breached, and if they haven't, we have a much bigger problem.
May I state
Sure.
something? I've been working in, well, I used to work in facilities regulation. I was trained by the original people. I claim, and I am proud to state, that I was trained well. Under the CMS manual, even though I am not a nurse, 10 years I've been doing complaints. Any of those complaints came across my desk, I would have immediately brought them to the triage nurse, and a triage nurse that is doing her job correctly would have made them priority, so by the time the video came out, they would have been under investigation or the investigation would be complete. So therefore, the state may not be following CMS rules and regulations. And I would be very concerned about that, because people are dying. Sorry, I'm upset,
Through
but
the PowerPoint, you listed the PowerPoint presentation, a lot through the letter, and that wasn't Lisa's PowerPoint presentation, it was Mike Stenhouse's PowerPoint presentation. She should have no responsibility in what he did
Including the logo.
in that platform. That was all on him. He created PowerPoint, she had nothing to do with helping him create it. I haven't talked to him, but I know that Lisa didn't give him the emblem of the Rhode Island Department of Health.
You should trademark that.
Anybody can get that, anybody.
Any fool, you and I can find a way to copy and paste that onto our PowerPoint.
Absolutely. So Lisa has no part in that PowerPoint or that emblem being used whatsoever. And then I just want to get a little bit deep into how you list that she's not covered under the Whistleblowers Act because she didn't do X, Y, and Z, but she did do X, Y, and Z, and I'll let them talk about that.
Yes, let's talk about your talk with the Department of Justice.
on May 15th, I called the Department of Justice to voice my concerns over how the state is handling these complaints and my concerns about the fact that the governor had stated that she provided enough personal protection equipment and assured the public that patients were not being roomed together, both negative and positive, as well as staff, and I voiced my complaints, and voila, here is my Verizon phone bill, and here is the screenshot, the Department of Justice website with the toll-free number. There you go. I'm protected under the Whistleblower Protection Act, Rhode Island General Laws, Section 28-50-3.
Are these my copies?
You can do whatever you wish with those. I'm sorry, I'm angry, I am just disgusted in this state.
So she was protected under the Whistleblowers Act because she did follow the proper protocol for letting someone know what was going on.
And if you notice, that's a 16-minute call, that's not a voicemail. Okay?
Also listed, there was an extra complaint in the pre-disc letter, number 6, that was not included in the video.
Which actually came in after the video came out, so whoever wrote that letter needs to
It needs to be redacted.
and launder their karma.
That, I don't know where that came from. Nobody talked about that at the investigatory meeting.
What page?
Number 6 on the complaint, so that would be page
This one right here.
3.
Number 6, in fact, on all 6 of these complaints, my God, talk about violating privacy here. You guys gave so much more information. I mean, man, talk about everything but the patient's name and date of birth.
Not all these complaints that are listed, 1 through 6. 6 was never talked about in the investigatory meeting, and it wasn't even on the video.
Yeah, so
But
somebody
1
got
through
creative.
1 through 5, there's way more information on this document that you provided that was discussed at the investigatory meeting, that was given to Mike Stenhouse, that was on the video. So now I, and everybody CC'd on this document, has all of that information about these complaints, which we didn't have prior to this letter being released.
Good job, state.
And furthermore, for a final statement, and then I'll let them say any final thoughts they have, we talk about the ethics and integrity. Wow. If you're trying to say that this employee violated the ethics and integrity
Executive order.
executive order, what is the state doing by trying to hide all of these complaints? These are 5 complaints out of
Hundreds and
thousands.
thousands.
How many?
Well,
Thousands?
hundreds as far as I personally can see involving COVID, but thousands upon thousands since I have filed a complaint in
Department of Administration
Superior
and
Court.
Human Resources should use their time and efforts to really dig deeper into what's going on in their agencies, instead of let's be in here wasting all this time on an employee that was trying to do the right thing by the public. And I'll leave it there.
I'll just inject one final thought. Even though Ms. Camuso is employed by the Department of Health, she still has a right under the First Amendment to speak under matters of public concern. And the well-being of our most vulnerable populations during a pandemic is a quintessential matter of public concern. And it is pretty well understood that in this pandemic, that population has not been adequately served, has been very poorly served.
Almost
And in
80%.
And in fact, let's face it, that's becoming increasingly publicized. The first line of defense for these patients is their natural advocates, their families. This Department of Health has consistently kept the families away from these patients. In fact, there was an article in the Projo yesterday. Visits are still not allowed. And in fact, they're even being denied phone calls with their families. Now, we can talk about the merits of that, the health reasons for that all day long. But the fact remains, these patients have lost their natural advocates. That's a problem. That is a huge problem. And here we are hearing that they are not being adequately protected in these nursing homes. We used to get daily publications about the death counts.
Not anymore.
Oh yeah, where'd that go?
So I think Vicki and I will have some fun with this in court in
Yes.
front of an arbitrator, so just pass
Yes.
that along when you're writing out your disciplinary letter.
This was everything. Ms. Camuso speaking about these issues was a First Amendment issue all day long. She protected their privacy. And by the way, you say some things about why didn't you go to her supervisor. You already taught her what happens when you go to a supervisor, when you speak out.
You become a receptionist.
Yes. So, and I would suggest to you that what you're doing to Ms. Camuso is costing you what little credibility you have with respect to these nursing homes. And we will have fun with this.
I'm going to just make a statement about my current supervisor, Andrea Bagnell-Dagos, is a very good supervisor. Andrea, I want to thank you for being very fair with me.
And with the union. I
And
second that.
I'm
Thank
going
you.
to tell you, Andrea, very honestly, one of the reasons why I haven't brought you into this is because my past supervisor, Jim Coyne, who was also trying to be very supportive when things got really rough with the retaliation, he was trying to protect me, but the state forced him to give me a written, a verbal reprimand, which God help you when the audio comes out on that one, okay? And then he got retaliated against. Anybody who supports me or voices support for me gets retaliated against, and I have proof. I'm angry with you people.
Bill, did
Angry.
you have anything to add, Bill? Okay.
Can I please? Because I'm the victim here.
On this, who was the person that you spoke to?
I'll have to check my notes, but why don't you give it a call? All right?
So
Sorry if
you're
I'm
not gonna
combative
hurt-
with you, but you kind of started this, okay, by throwing papers at me the last time, okay? Now, I'm covered under the Whistleblower Protection Act. I'm still being retaliated against. Am I a state employee, or what I'm doing air quotes right now? There are good people who work at the Department of Health, okay? But there are also people who seem to be the majority who like to cover up things. There's been crimes committed in facilities regulation, and Dr. Scott is involved in the cover-up. Leonard Green is involved in the cover-up. Anna Nevice is involved in the cover-up. If you guys had a handle on what you were doing, how come facilities regulation was under incident command? You claim it was because Adele Ranzulli and Linda Catalano were leaving? They were the ones that created the mess along with Seema Dixit, who, by the way, is CC'd on this 7-page letter. I work with the public. My title is that I work with the public, okay? You've got me answering phones and transferring calls. I'm not allowed to do the job I loved and I was good at. You want to fire me? Go ahead. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going away. You hear me? I'm not going away. I got 2,400 audio clips, okay? And hear this, Attorney General's office. I know that you passed along my complaint that I sent to the Office of Inspector General. Instead of investigating it yourselves like you were supposed to do, you passed it off to the state police. If I had any trust in any of you, with the exception of who's here for me and Miss Bagnell-Dagos, I would have come to you. But you've shown me that you all have zero integrity because you're all involved and you're all worried about your paychecks, right? This is business ethics. You're willing to let people die as long as you can have your paycheck, and it's bullshit. Excuse me for swearing. So there you go. Do what you got to do. I'm not going away. You created a beast. You almost broke me. You didn't. Truth is coming. You hear? Families are going to find out just how corrupt the state is. You're disgusting letting people die. God help you that it doesn't happen to one of you or one of your family members. I'm sorry.
This concludes the proceedings. Before you leave, I can give you that.
What is this?
This is your administrative leave letter.
Which was already written out before we got here.
Oh, am I being put on administrative leave again?
Yeah.
Hope you follow the laws this time.
Do you need anything out of your office?
We'll walk you over.
Oh, Andrew will walk you over.
Oh, there's no police officers like the last time?
All right,
Thank you.
When was that meeting?
today. Fine, before we got in there.
You guys are consistent. Do you realize that? You're consistent in your crookedness.
Wow, how exciting.
Jackie, do you guys have anything else?
What do you mean? Do I have anything else? I could go on.
I think so, yeah.
Check your gut.
Jackie, you good? All right, have a good day.
Bye.